It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
What it do? What it do? Welcome to another episode of Let's Bet It. We got game 4 tonight. Spurs Thunder. We got 3 games in the W, and a lot to talk about. LJ, how you doing, bro?
Hey, man, it's a beautiful Sunday morning, my friend. You know, get to sit back, relax, enjoy some sports today. So, hey, game 4 NBA, Western Conference Finals. So, see if we can talk about it, break down this game, dissect some angles, and let's see if we can get some money, my friend. I always appreciate joining you. So, hey, let's see if we can make it happen.
All right. You can hear me, right?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Definitely.
Okay. I just literally had Chris text me. He's ready to come back here, so he's going to be joining us in a little bit.
That's what's up.
All right. GLB says he's got some baseball for us too, so we'll go throw them in the comments. LJ, if you got opinions on them, we can talk about that too.
No doubt.
First game 4, Thunder Spurs. Spurs laying 2.5 at the crib. The totals went up to 219.5. I was on Spurs first quarter, the other day. That was a cash, but after that, I just didn't trust them full game, and I ended up being right. They were up 15-0 and ended up losing the game by 15. So I got a play on this one. But what you think, LJ? You got anything here?
Yeah, man, I got a lot of angles in this game. I'm a big guy in history. I like to go back and see how you've done in situations, see the patterns and, get data on the teams to see, how they, like I said, how they do in this situation. So first off, let's start off with the first quarter. Like you said, you took the Spurs first quarter last game, which was a good play because, they was coming home. We know they had to get up sense of urgency, so that was a good cash. But I believe that this game is going to go over the first quarter just because I believe both teams are going to try to jump on the other opposing team early to try to set the tone and get the momentum going early. And it could go both ways. Spurs could jump up early on them. Thunder can jump up early on the Spurs. But I think the total points, which I believe is sitting at 54.5. The last time I looked at it, first quarter total. I just want to see it live right now so I can just make sure we can have the right angle. 53.5 first quarter total. I believe it's going to go over. So that's going to be my first play. Because like I said, I see a lot of points early. Both teams coming out being aggressive, and probably some early fouls as well. Because, you get points at the foul line when the clock is stopped. So just depends on where the refs are going to be calling the game. May see some early fouls on OKC. That way the Spurs can go get in the penalty early and get some easy buckets. So that's my theory on the first quarter going over. First start. Now, as far as the full game, anytime you can take the Thunder, in my opinion, Dimes, at plus money, I think you have to take it because how often is OKC plus money? It's not very often. I know y'all can go back into the statistics and see, but just off thought, I believe that they're going to be in this game. And now I went back in history. Like I said, game 4 on the road, OKC, 8-0, straight up, plus 5-point margin in those games. Now, doesn't matter if they're down, if they're up. Every situation they played in 8 games, game 4 on the road, they won. So, all that said, I took it early soon as the number came out. I'm on the plus. I got plus 1.5. This went up, but as far as me officially, I'm on plus 1.5 OKC, and I took the money line plus 105 because I believe they're going to take control of this series simply because of the turnovers. at the end of the day, the Spurs still turn the ball over too much, especially in crucial situations. And I think OKC can capitalize off those turnovers and continue to keep the momentum in the game and always make the Spurs try to fight to get ahead instead of having the lead. Because if they can get a good lead, they can stay in the game. But OKC, as far as their bench, you're getting points off your bench. And I don't think the Spurs have enough artillery to compensate with that bench scoring from the OKC. Because their starters could go to the bench and they can still keep a 20-point lead. So if you let OKC keep that momentum, especially towards the end of the game, I believe they're going to capitalize. Now, the Spurs do have an advantage, in my opinion, third quarter, coming out of halftime. You know, the numbers are 12-1-1 in the playoffs, the Spurs, against the spread in the third quarter. So if they come out of halftime and take advantage of that third quarter, they could be in the game. But OKC fourth quarter, 10-1 in the playoffs. So you have to beat them in that fourth quarter in order to have a chance to win the game. Because if you can't get them in the later part of the game, I don't think you'll have a chance. So all that said, official, as far as plays, I'm on the over. First quarter, 53.5. OKC plus 1.5 for a game. OKC money line plus 105 is official for me.
And here's the thing, I agree with you. What up, Chris? Welcome Chris into the.
What up, Chris?
Yep. Here's what I'm gonna say, man, and this is I agree because the only thing I can go back to is when OKC was playing Indy in the finals, and I was at Game 4.
Okay.
And literally the way you kind of like spelled that whole script out is kind of how Game 4 played in Indy. We could have took control of that series. We had control of that game for pretty much the entire game. First half, I think the first half might have been over as far as points. Mm-hmm. And then it just, it died toward the end of the game. But we could not win the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
And we didn't. And we lost the game after being up, 5 or 6 points with 3 or 4 minutes left, and we still lost. So that Game 4 trend, I might have to tell you, bro, for real.
It ain't lost yet, man. Like, why go against it? That's just me.
We are talking about OKC and San Antonio. Chris, what are your thoughts on this one?
Man, I couldn't, like everybody else, probably kind of see it going both ways. It looked like y'all a little bit more definitive than I am, but I'm gonna go. I don't think I'm gonna disagree with y'all. Like, I think OKC is the better team, but I do think we see some regression come from the OKC side as far as all those points that were scored off their bench. Like, their bench is better. I don't think Jared McCain going out there, getting to 20 again. I think if you're San Antonio and Mitch Johnson, and we know how good their coaching staff has been with, Greg Popovich at the helm of it, probably since all of us was teenagers or before that. The adjustments will be made. I think that their primary concern was kind of, slowing down SGA, which is why, he was able to go over his assist prop in game number 2. And then last game, they kind of did what they wanted to do. So I think GLB was talking about it. I kind of think we see some changes defensively. I think while both of these teams can play really, really fast and want to play really, really fast to avoid, the other team in the half court, I still think the game goes under. So that's the one I like. I like the under 218.5, 219.5 if you can get that. And I think San Antonio, I think we see a little bit of regression from the OKC side of things as far as like them being able to shoot the basketball as well as they did in game 1. In game 3. So specifically, numbers wise, you got an OKC team that shot 48% from the field, 45% from 3, and got to the line 33 times. Some of that was San Antonio, kind of doing boneheaded stuff like fouling, sending them to the free throw line, turning the ball over, 15 times, which they've turned the ball over every single game, in this series. But I think some of that I think some of that goes away. So I like San Antonio first half. I think that they can get the job done early in this game. I think that they're going to bring it, especially, being back at the crib. We've seen them off a loss, and they've done really, really well. Just because they didn't do as well in that last game, and granted it's against OKC, I don't want to buck the trend immediately. I think this is a really good San Antonio team, and they bring everything they have early in this game. So San Antonio first half minus the 1.5, I think is the most the one that I have the most conviction about. Let me ask you guys this question real quick. I'm interested in both of y'all thought process. Y'all give me an answer, okay? So y'all know who made it to the playoffs this year in the Eastern Conference, right? Like seeds 1 all the way through play-in, right? If I blindfold y'all, turn the game on, fast forward it, y'all can't see who playing, but at the end of it, I tell you OKC was playing, and the opponent that they played against allowed them to shoot 48% from the field and 45% from the three-point line. The team that they played against, you're going to tell me, is definitely not who?
Out of the 4 teams you said left?
Out of all the teams that made it to the Western Conference, the Western Conference playoffs,
the Western
who
Conference.
didn't OKC play against if they shot 48% from the field, 45% from the three?
I'll say all of them.
They definitely didn't play against San Antonio, right? San Antonio defense is the best in the Western Conference outside of OKC. So my point in saying all that is that I do think we see a much better defensive effort, which is why I think full game under, and I think San Antonio first half.
I bet the under. I bet the under. I got it at 219. As soon as you said something about Jared McCain and his 20 points, I went right in and took his under. 12 and a half, almost even money. Like he's had 2 games above 12 and a half in the playoffs, and immediately that next game he plummets under. So they figure him out that next game. So
yeah, but even still, I still think they could get more points off their bench, because if Keldon Johnson and you're hobbled with Dylan Harper, they're not only really 2 offensive threats you have off the San Antonio's bench. So if he's hobbled and then you're still dealing with De'Aaron Fox, he's kind of hobbled too. So I think if you mix matching those players, I don't, like I said, if OKC can stay out of foul trouble, because they already down one of their players too. So if they can stay out of foul trouble and make, like Chris saying, make it a defensive game, the more aggressive team is going to prevail. And in my opinion, Wemby is going to be the X factor, because if he can stay on the floor, San Antonio's going to always have a chance to win the game. Exactly. But if OKC's system is to get Wemby off the floor and open up that lane, that's going to force San Antonio to foul, man, because I don't think they're going to have enough defenders to keep them intact, to keep them off the offensive side. So that's going to be the situation, in my opinion, I think. But the turnovers, like I said, the Spurs are giving up 20 points on turnovers in all 3 games. So unless that's different, I still see OKC having an advantage. So that's just me.
Man, I mean, really good. And the thing is if I think the Spurs are going to start, if they win in this first half, they could be up double digits. Who knows?
Yeah, they could win the first half. Yeah, but see, are they gonna win that third quarter like they've been doing? Because I believe if they win the first half and they win that third quarter, they're gonna win the game.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? That's my opinion. Because even if OKC comes back in the fourth quarter, San Antonio may have a good enough lead to hold them off. You get what I'm saying? But if they let OKC come in that third quarter and get back in the game, they're going to have to really fight them off in that fourth quarter. So the third quarter is going to be the determining factor. So everybody that's watching the game, pay attention to that third quarter, because whoever wins that, more likely is going to win the game.
I agree with you. Chris, you got any props on this one before we hit the W?
Man, I think you just go right back to the well and just keep fading chat. I think it's the gift that keep on giving, man. Like, when we don't like him, he shot the ball really well in game 3. Like, I think he was 5 for 7, still, stayed under the 14.5, finished right at 14. It's difficult when, in my opinion, if you're not going to, if you're not going to play on, well, what I'm trying to say is it's difficult because of the way that San Antonio got to their 123 points, right? Like, we know that a lot of those bench players they're not going to come in here and, have that big of a game. Kendrick Williams, Nels, no AJ Mitchell. So it's difficult to kind of figure out who you want to fade. If there's somebody I'm absolutely playing on, it's probably Cason Wallace again. Like, this dude is just money from the 3-point line. He's going to be out there. He's going to get his looks. He, brings his hard hat, and lunch pail to work every single day and just suits up and plays defense, doesn't talk to anybody, just out there doing what he do. So if I had to look at somebody who I think would potentially be undervalued just based on them being on the road, it'd probably be a guy like him. But yeah, I mean, Luke Dort shot the ball really, really terrible. I'd be going back to fading him, even though his points probably like 6.5 at this point, 5.5, something like that. 23 minutes, he had 0 points last game, shot 1 3, and then Dagnall said, "Nah, that's enough. You can come over here sit beside me." So even San Antonio, like OKC, so deep that even without Jalen Williams, they can put somebody like Dort on the bench because their defense is so good and still not be impacted and still go out there get 123 points and still hold the opponent under their team total at 108. Like it's kind of crazy, and that's what to what LJ was saying about just them having a lot more depth, especially with Dylan Harper being down, especially with De'Aaron Fox being potentially hampered. He's gonna play, and they're not on the injury report, but those guys on 100%. We know that.
For real. I had some couple of props circled too. I mean, Shai's assists, it's been money. 8 out of last 10, he's hit that 7.5. And you mentioned Wallace, his steals, man. I mean, 2+ steals. He's hit it 3 games in a row. He's hit it all 3. And 5 out of the last 5 games versus the Spurs, he's had 2+ steals. So I think both of those looks are excellent for us on the OKC side. And for us, San Antonio, Vassell, over 2.5 threes. I think he's going to have at least 3. He's hit it in 4 straight games in a row. And that's what he's looking for. You know what I'm saying? When he's on the court, he's looking to shoot that 3. He's had 2+ 8 out of the last 9. So if you just want to drop it down to 2 and then parlay it with something else to get some better, plus money, I wouldn't mind that as well. So those are the props I'm looking for as in the game that I had circled.
All right, cool. I think we covered this one well. Let's move over to the W. First game, Mercury at Dream. Dream laying 5.5 at home. I think that total moved. I think it has. It was 168 because that's what I got it at, but I think it's at 169.5 now. Yeah, bro. I played the under in this one, man. I just think the Dream's defense at home, I think they're going to dictate. I think pace and defense is going to dictate because, they're at home. I think this is their second straight home game.
Third straight.
Third straight. Okay, so they comfortable with the crib. So I took the under in this one, man. What you like here?
Yeah, under. I like under as well. For a lot of what you said already, Doms. But let me get over to what I had. I mean, you kind of laid it out already, but like this is the only. I guess the only thing that scares you a little bit if you like the under is just how bad Phoenix has been defensively. I mean, giving up 88.5 points, even though this is a Atlanta team that typically wins with their defense because they only average about 84.5. And offensively, they're 11th, best offensive rated team. So Atlanta's not coming out and, going bunkers and, scoring a bunch of points. But yeah, Phoenix is not playing fast. Atlanta is not a good offensive team. So under makes sense. I think Atlanta also can win this game and cover the spread as well. I typically like to play those bounce back angles where, you got a Phoenix team that's, coming off back-to-back home wins as a favorite. But historically, they haven't been well. They have not done well. Only 30% of the time do teams that have lost back-to-back games as a home favorite, actually cover in their next game. So, you can't just blindly say, Phoenix is a good team. They shouldn't be getting 5.5 in this spot. It does seem like a lot of points delayed, but Atlanta, just a really, really good team. We saw what they were able to do to Dallas in that last game. And I don't really want to fade them. They almost beat the Aces at the crib, came back in that game as well. So I think Atlanta's the right side. I think under is the right play.
And I think too, man, maybe it's just me, but is Phoenix really just not that good?
I think Nicole McConney, I talked about this on my show. I think Nicole McConney coming back. She's questionable for today. He comes back. That definitely helps that definitely helps the under a lot. But I think Atlanta, I think Phoenix does have potential. They just, for whatever reason, just aren't doing what they're supposed to do. Like defensively, it's almost like it's way too early to say this, and I definitely don't think it's happening. But it's almost like they're playing the way that you would expect the team to play if they were tanking. And we know that they're not tanking. This is a team that went to the finals last year. But like, you're just like, how? Like, how do you lose back-to-back games at home? I think one of them was against Portland. Like what are you doing out there? Like,
Yeah. We're on Mercury Dream. LJ, you got anything on this one?
No, man, I've been going in and out of the WNBA really just with props. You know, been listening to y'all, Chris. You know, just collecting data. I haven't really dived into it yet, but you know, I just sprinkle Angel Reese rebounds just because that's what she does. So hey, you know, that's pretty much what I did in this game.
Okay.
And to that point, real quick, Don, if I can intervene, Alyssa Thomas, I talked about this on my show, under her 7.5 boards. I mean, you got, you know, she's only over in, I think, 2 of her 5 games so far this season. But outside of that, you know, this is an Atlanta team that's really good on the boards with Angel Reese down there. I'm glad you mentioned that, LJ. Under 7.5 plus money. And she, you know, is not even averaging 7.5. So I think Angel Reese and, you know, the other bigs that are really good at rebounding the basketball, I think that's another really good, you know, look in this game is Alyssa Thomas. I'll be on her under her 7.5 boards in this spot.
I might get with you on that one, bro.
Yeah, I just probably both.
Reese gonna be down there body in there. It ain't going down like that today, AT.
Yeah, I just parlay both of them together.
All right, we covered that one pretty well. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, as soon as I get off here, I'm gonna put that in. That under rebounds. All right. Wings and Liberty. Liberty laying 7.5 at home. Total, I think, went down a little bit. It was 179.5, seeing 179, 178.5, but 178 mostly. Looks like Ionescu's coming back for New York. Yeah, I think as far as injuries, unless there's anything new, but yeah, Ionescu coming back is a big deal. So what you think about this one, LJ?
No, man, I don't have anything in this one, bro. I asked in the chat earlier about Liberty first quarter. You know, it's just something I can't bet on my books because I'm in an illegal state, unfortunately, so I can't bet the Liberty first quarter. But I would just stick to that, you know, just because I've been tracking the data, you know, and y'all confirmed it in the chat earlier on how, you know, how much of an advantage they have in the first quarter. And I think Chris mentioned it too on the show a couple of times, you know, the Liberty, you know, that first quarter, you know, there's a consistent trend that they come out and take advantage. But other than that, I don't have anything in this.
Okay. What about you, Chris?
Man, so a couple of things here. This is a clunky game, in my opinion. We'll get less clunky games from this Liberty team, but right now, I kind of feel like we're getting an overvalued Liberty team. Not that they're not good. The Liberty are really, really good. They're still number 1 in offensive rating, even though, you know, Sabrina hasn't stepped foot on the floor. But we got to think about this in the totality, right? I think if we're thinking about it in totality, we're thinking, okay, Sabrina first game of the season, like what does that do? In my opinion, what it does is it hires the floor, the offensive ceiling, right? But it also, like, the defense is not going to get better. Not in her first game back. I can see her being winded. I know Dallas is a team that like to get out and push. But then also, like, it's only Satu second game as well. I saw Satu in her first game. She looked like it was her first game. She was out there moving slow, giving up offensive rebounds, struggling to get back on defense. Like, and they, you know, got smoked in that game. You know, lost that game pretty significantly. So not that I don't think the Liberty will be better, but this is not a team, in my opinion, that is going to hang their hats on the defensive end in this game. I think it'll be higher scoring, right? But then also no Benaji Laney Hamilton, so you got to take that into consideration as well. Ultimately, Downs, I like the Wings plus the 7.5 in this game. I think that 7.5 is a tad bit too many points when I expect, you know, Dallas just to be a little bit better offensively. Arike Ogunbowale and Paige Beckers combined, I think, was 4 for 25 or something like that in the last game. One of them was 1 for 11. The other one was like 3 for 10 or something like that. So I expect them to play a little bit better against a Liberty team that's not top 5 in defensive rating and not, you know, giving up a ton of points, but also able to score the basketball. So, you know, this total coming back down, I think I'm gonna stay away from it because there are ways that I can kind of see both happening. But because especially if you don't get the Liberty, you know, scoring the basketball early, there's always this expectation. Like, I don't think this is talked about enough, Don, but there's always this expectation that, you know, when you bet on a team, on a good team, that they can't be in a letdown spot. And I'm not saying that I think that the Liberty are the letdown spot because they lost their last game, so they should come out with some energy. But to what LJ was just saying, my thought process is I kind of need to see that chemistry and what that looks like, especially when you like we haven't seen a game this season with Satu on the floor and Sabrina on the floor. It's only Satu's second game. We haven't seen Sabrina at all. So yes, they're a high scoring offense, but you're always going to be paying a premium with a team like the New York Liberty, especially when they're at home. So give me Dallas plus the points. I also like Dallas team total 86.5. This is something that the Liberty been giving up, something that Dallas been able to score. They got 3 good guards. I think Jaquel, in my opinion, is the centerpiece for this defense. So Marine Johannes can't guard anybody. So I expect Paige to get busy. Maybe Enrique comes out. Maybe even a Dallas first half team total or Dallas first half spread. The Liberty are great, but we have not seen them play. And we did just see Dallas lose by, 17 points in their last game, against the Atlanta Dream. So this is not the same defense that Atlanta Dream. So give me Dallas plus the points, maybe even a sprinkle on Dallas first half here.
Ooh.
You opposite side of me?
No, not. I'm really thinking about this total, and for some reason I like the under. I gave the trend. I put it on X with the Sunday home games. In those games, let me go back and look at that. So we're going back 2 years. So the last 2 years, Liberty games at home on Sunday only average 158.6. That's 9 game sample. And today's total of 179.5 has only been eclipsed once in those 9 games. I just feel like there's something to that. I feel like there's something to that. Do the Liberty play defense better on Sundays at home? I don't know. But I just can't get off of it. I haven't touched this game yet, but what you think, LJ?
I mean, like I said, I haven't really dived into it like y'all, said. I'm just going off what y'all perspectives are, and I'm just collecting data for the most part because it's still early. The NBA playoffs is still in my mind right now. So once that's done, it's about the WNBA with me for sure.
Yeah. All right. I'm with you though with the wings plus the points though. Honestly, like New York is trying to integrate too much at one time back into the lineup. Dallas has been at this for a few games now, so and they're coming off a big loss. I couldn't look any other way but the wings. So we'll hit the Mystic Storm. Storm. They're getting 3.5 at home, total 158.5. Haven't looked at the injury report on this one, but Chris, I'll kick it to you. You got anything in this one?
So Fawn is actually supposed to play today, which I think is big. She'll most likely, be down there playing center for Seattle, which desperately need a center when you don't have Izzy Magmabor or you don't have, Malunga, who are both out for this game. So I'll start the handicap by saying that for the Washington side of things, significant rest advantage, 5 days to 1 in this game, but this is their 3rd straight road game, and they're a slow pace offensive team that is either going to look super good or going to look super bad. I got them, I think, 14th offensively this season, so they're not a great offense at all, but we know what they can do. I mean, you still got to go down there and contest with the Kiki Ariafins of the world, and Sonia Citron is an absolute superstar in the making. But they're 13th in offensive rating. They play at the 14th fastest pace, or you could say the 2nd slowest pace as well. I can't lay points with them at a -6.8 net rating, not on the road. And this line is moving up now to 5. So money is coming in on Washington. If I'm betting it, it's under for me. And I'm probably looking towards the Seattle side of things just because Washington just not it for me, man. Like I think that they're a really good team. I just don't want to lay points with them on the road here. Seattle, feisty team, 5th in defensive rating. Also really, really struggling offensively at 14. And they're only giving up 81.2 points per game, which is 3rd in the WNBA. Also playing at the 12th slowest pace. So 2 slow pace, 4 offenses, 1 really good defense at home as a dog. To me, that screams under. When I was looking into it, home dogs that are in really close possession type games. So 2 possessions or less, looking at 5 or under home dogs with a total that's below 160 in the regular season. That's a 55% trend to the under. And if those home dogs that are getting 5 or less, playing in a game that's supposed to be low scoring, 160 or less, if they're coming off a win, then it says that it's a little bit of a buy on spot, and it's 59% to the under. So I like under 158.5 in this game. Haven't bet it yet. There is a rematch that happens on Tuesday. I forgot to say this on my show. There's a rematch that happens on Tuesday between these 2 teams. It will be in Seattle as well. If I don't catch this one, then I'll probably be on the next one under, especially if this one goes over.
And I feel like this total was like 160 yesterday. Am I wrong?
Yeah, it was 161.
Yeah, and I was looking at it then thinking it was a little high, but I was like, man, I don't know. So I never touched it. But now to see it move, I don't know, man. This is one I don't think I'm gonna have to do some more thinking on this one. This is because these other 2 start, in a few hours. So this one, I'm gonna have to look at this one a little bit more. I don't got too much of a thought on Mystic Storm. You got anything else, LJ, before we go to top plays?
Nah, I'm good.
All right. Top play. I got to go. Well, I got the worst number, 168.5. You can get a 169. I like the Mercury Dream under 169.5. LJ, what you got, bro?
Top play. I believe the first quarter goes over in the Spurs and OKC game. I don't know who's going to win it the first quarter, but I do know that I believe points are going to be scored. And I think, I was thinking about what Chris said, as far as the regression of the bench with OKC. I wouldn't be surprised if the starters make a big impact in this game, like Shea, like you say, Chet. People keep calling out Chet. Eventually, man, in my opinion, athletes get tired of people talking shit about them. So eventually they're going to have a good game. So this could be the game that Chet could show, hey, being aggressive, showing us something different. And I think the starters make more of an impact in this game, in my opinion. But all that said, first quarter, over 53.5 is my top play.
Yo.
All right, Chris, what's your top play, bro?
Yeah, real quick to what LJ was saying. I do agree with that, LJ. LJ was saying that he thinks, Chet is eventually going to have a big game because people get tired of, people talking about you. I think that's going to come in the finals when he don't got to deal with Wemby no more. So I wanted to lay that out first. But long as Wemby down there, yeah, and this is San Antonio, nah. Wemby under 13.5 points today. But best bet, I'll take San Antonio. I'm going to roll with San Antonio first half, minus the 1.5. Thinking that they get the job done and, kind of neutralizes, this OKC offense. I think that the OKC offense will struggle a little bit more than they did. I gave you guys the number 48% from the field, 45% from the 3-point line in the last game. So give me San Antonio first half. They ain't out of it yet, man. We'll see how it finishes, but I'll take them first half here. Best bet.
All right, bet. What's good, GLB? We just hitting top plays.
I know. I saw the show was ending, and I was like, I can come on for some quick MLB. It's been crazy in here, but yeah. So let me give you a couple bets here in MLB. I'm on the Mariners money line, and I won't try to rush anything or force it here, but I'm on the Mariners money line and that game over 8.5. As always, these are trend plays. I've come to terms that I'm a trend better. Some people like it, some don't. But just quickly here, Dimes, you remember that tracker I had years ago that I told you about?
Yeah.
I got everything flushed out, so now I have insane analytics because I think that's important. I'm 14-5 on MLB money lines this week. That's up 8.43 units. So I want to give you Mariners money line with confidence, and then the next one I'm going to give you is Guardians money line.
Okay.
Guardians off a loss are 15-7. There's a couple other trends backing them, but I'm really heavy into MLB this season. I kind of left NBA and WNBA behind just because I get cooked in playoffs. It's not fun. It sucks. I hate it. But with MLB, I also hate it too, right? Because MLB is just such a bitch. But I'm finding my groove. I'm finding what works. But yeah, man, I'm also on Dodgers Brewers under 8, and I'm on the Reds money line too. All system backed data trends. But best bet, Mariners or Guardians. Go both.
All right, sounds good, man. Glad you was able to hop on for a second, drop some MLB down. I've been telling some of that stuff, so I know it'd be hitting.
Yeah, man, it's the Cubs. The Cubs kill me. I was on them the last 2 days. I think they lost, but yeah. And then in the NBA, I mentioned that trend to the under.
Yeah,
I think it was a 7-3 trend, but I know it can get weird when you like focus on just game 4 of round 3 or just game 5 of round 3. But I think that's important because every game means something to these teams. You know, I remember back in the day where you say, oh, like the Dodgers are 5-0 on Tuesdays after 5 p.m. Some people are like, bro, throw that trend away. That's trash. No, do not throw that trend away. That's a trend for a reason. And I feel the same way about the under today. We're going to keep trusting the team, or both teams, to, you know, tighten up on defense. But that said, remember I had a 10-0 trend the other day? I posted on X, fucking lost.
Yeah.
Fucking Spurs. So anything can happen at any point, but
Good stuff, bro. Good stuff. Y'all got anything else before we wrap up here?
Appreciate y'all for having me on, man. Appreciate y'all for sure.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, bro. Yeah, thanks for taking the extra time after your show. I know sitting in front of a screen for so long it can drive you crazy. So thanks for coming on with us, man.
yes, sir.
All right, fellas, we out of here. Hopefully we can get with y'all sometime next week. You know, these series are looking like they're about to start coming to an end. So I don't know how that works with the schedule and all that. But Chris, we'd love to get you back on here sometime, bro, and we'll all link up soon.
Good stuff.
All right, peace out, y'all.
All right, peace.
If you broke, try to have a nice day. If you're fat, try to have a nice day. If you're skinny, try to have a nice day. If you got a big head, try to have a nice day. If your mama's ugly, try to have a nice day. If your daddy whoop your ass, try to have a nice day. If a dog bite you in the ass, bite him back and try to have a nice day. Try to have a nice day. See, that's my theme. Try to have a nice day. I'm about to leave right now and go try to have me a nice day. All right. Try to have a nice day.